set for trial on that date. What date's for that, Tabitha?
Monday, June the 14th.
Monday, June the 14th for a jury trial. We'll need to conduct a pre-trial on that. You have a pre-trial date on that, Tabitha? I don't know whether you do or not yet.
Not yet, Judge.
All right, we'll be setting it for pre-trial. And Monday, June the 14th for trial by jury, and then the court will set a pre-trial date for the pre-trial matters to be heard at a date worked out by the court as we move down through the schedule. And Tabitha will notify State Defense Counsel of the trial date. I'm sorry, of the pre-trial date. The defendant is continued in custody under all the bonds on all three cases. Anything further, Ms. Autry?
No, Your Honor.
I think for anything further today, Mr. Davis?
Not today, Judge. Thank you.
Now, as I understand it, what are the state's offers, just for the record, Ms. Autry?
14 years to serve concurrently, Your Honor.
All right, so the state's offer is 14 years in TDC. Under the plea agreement, if the defendant pleads guilty, those would all be ordered to run concurrent or at the same time with credit for time served. And Mr. Davis, as I understand it, the defendant is rejecting that offer. Is that correct?
That's correct, Your Honor.
All right, they're all set for trial then on
Monday, June the 14th.
Monday, June the 14th. We'll get you a pre-trial date. If there's nothing further, the defendant's continued in custody on all the bonds on all three indictments. We're in recess until Monday. We'll have a pre-trial obviously prior to Monday, June 14th. Tabitha will advise y'all of that date. Anything else, Ms. Autry?
No, Your Honor.
Anything else, Mr. Davis?
No, sir. Thank you.
We're in recess. Defendant's continued in custody.
I'm usually going to the last reading, the last name first, first name, but they've got it listed last name. I will.
Thank you so much.
I got them.
I appreciate it.
In cause number 241-1505-20, State versus Adan Duran.
Yes, sir.
Indictment charging theft of property, enhancement paragraphs. Adam Duran's present before the court with his attorney, Mr. Zach Davis, State's counsel, Ms. Autry's present. Court has a set of plea documents in this case, 241-1505-20. State versus Adam Duran, charged by an indictment with theft of property with 2 enhancement paragraphs. Mr. Duran, just raise your right hand so I can swear you in. Do you solemnly swear your testimony will be the truth, the whole truth, nothing but the truth, so help you God?
Yes, sir.
All right. First of all, have you gone over the indictment in the case with Mr. Zach Davis so you understand the allegations and the charge in the first paragraph of the indictment, which is up on the screen, which charges you with the offense of theft?
Yes, sir.
Then you understand your indictment in the second and third paragraphs has what we call enhancement paragraphs in it. I'm going to read each one of those to you. If you enter a plea of true to each one of those, it will enhance your full sentencing range up to not less than 2 years, nor more than 20 years in the Texas Department of Correctional Institutional Division. Fine may be assessed of up to $10,000. Do you understand that?
Yes, sir.
And of course, you have a plea agreement with the state. State's counsel is going to recommend your sentence. If you do plead guilty to the primary offense in the indictment in the first paragraph, State's counsel is going to recommend your sentence according to the plea docket sheet, 4 years in the Texas Department of Corrections, which would be assessed with credit for time served. The agreed punishment recommendation does not indicate any restitution is due. Do we need a post-sentence to determine whether or not any restitution is involved since it's a theft indictment?
Yes, Your Honor.
Court will order a post-sentence Marcella to determine whether or not any restitution, and if restitution is due, the amount which would be assessed by the court as part of the sentence.
Yes, Your Honor.
All right, Mr. Duran, I need to be sure, there's sort of a second part of the oath. Just raise your right hand because I have the second part I have to swear to. Do you solemnly swear that the testimony that you will be giving today is the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth? So help you God, and that all the documents which indicate they were not only signed but sworn to by you are being sworn to by you freely, intelligently, knowingly, and voluntarily.
Absolutely, sir.
All right, Mr. Duran, you've been over the indictment with your attorney, Mr. Zach Davis, so you understand the allegations, the charge in the indictment. The full range of sentencing is now not less than 2 years, no more than 20 years in the Texas Department of Corrections Institutional Division. Fine may be assessed of up to $10,000. You understand all that?
Yes, sir.
All right, have you gone over all these? Up there is we go over these plea documents with you now. Obviously, you've got an agreed punishment recommendation if you enter a plea of guilty to the indictment in this cause number. As we've already said, state's going to recommend your sentence at 4 years in the Texas Department of Corrections Institutional Division with credit for time served. Restitution would be ordered if determined to be due. Is that your plea agreement, Mr. Duran, 4 to do?
Yes, sir.
With credit for time served, restitution will be ordered if determined to be due. Is that it, Mr. Davis?
Yes, sir.
Is that your recommendation?
Your Honor, I kind of wanted to wait, but I am taking full responsibility there for it. I just feel like I had a lesser.
Well, hold on a minute now.
Yes, sir.
Hang on. Don't start going into anything about the case, facts of the case, or anything like that, because the state's prosecutor sitting there listening to everything you say, and it's being taken down by my court reporter, might be used later against you. I don't know what you're going to say, but you need to be sure before you go into anything other than just answering the questions, you need to talk to Mr. Davis, your attorney. Do you understand that?
Yes, sir.
The only thing I need to know, and the only thing I can ask you right now is your plea agreement, if you plead guilty to the indictment in this case, after we're going to take your stipulations on the enhancement paragraphs, if you plead guilty and plead true to the enhancement paragraphs, which actually will increase your range of sentencing from 2 to 20 years in TDC, is your plea agreement that if you plead guilty, the state's going to recommend 4 years in TDC with credit for time served. Is that your plea agreement?
Yes, sir.
All right, have you gone over the indictment with Mr. Davis so you understand the allegations and the charge in the indictment?
Yes, sir.
All right, I'm going to read these enhancement paragraphs to you. They're going to be up there on the screen. Then I'm going to ask you if your plea is true or not true to each enhancement paragraph. If you plead true to these enhancement paragraphs, your range of sentencing is going to be increased to not less than 2 years to more than 20 years in TDC, fine of up to $10,000. Of course, you have a plea agreement for 4. Do you understand all that?
Yes, sir.
All right, look at the second paragraph of the indictment. It's further presented that prior to the commission of the charged offense, hereinafter styled the primary offense, that on the 29th day of January 2004 in cause number 003029401 in the County Court of Law number 3 of Smith County, Texas, a juvenile court, it's alleged that you were adjudicated under section 54.03 of the Texas Family Code to have engaged in delinquent conduct constituting the felony offense of aggravated assault with a deadly weapon, for which you were committed to the Texas Youth Commission under section 54.04 of the Texas Family Code. Are those allegations true or not true?
True, sir.
Then alleged in the next paragraph that it's further presented that prior to the commission of the primary offense and after the conviction in cause number 003029401 was final, it's alleged you committed the felony offense of aggravated assault against a public servant, and you were finally convicted on the 20th day of August 2007 in the 114th Judicial District Court of Smith County, Texas. Are those allegations true or not true?
True, sir.
are you entering your pleas of truth to these allegations of priors in both paragraphs freely, intelligently, knowingly, and voluntarily?
Yes, sir.
All right, the court receives and accepts your pleas of truth. The court finds as true the allegations in the second and third paragraph